I am a 2016 Rotary Peace Fellow from the 3-month certificate program at the Rotary Peace Center at Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. Rotary International supports peace education through fellowships for 2 different programs, a master's course hosted by 5 Rotary Peace Centers at 6 world-class universities around the world, and a 3-month certification course from Chulalongkorn University in Thailand for mid-career professionals. The 3 months I spent at Chulalongkorn Rotary Peace Center were life-changing. I met 21 other fellows promoting peace in a variety of professions. Often, we think of peace as the opposite of war. But through this course, I was able to understand deeply the concepts and values of peace and conflict studies, the diagnosis and analysis of conflict, conflict resolution skills, approaches, and strategies, conflict transformation, and building sustainable peace. The course was invaluable to me for several reasons. It grounded me in theory that my education background was lacking, and it validated my work at Safe City. It gave me access to a network of Rotary Peace Fellows whom I could reach out to for practical experience, guidance, and collaboration. It also gave me access to Rotarians at large who could support my work. My background was in aviation, where I had a long career of close to 20 years. I was Vice President of Network Planning, where I planned the route network for one of India's largest airlines, and was responsible for scheduling and optimizing about 500 daily flights. In 2012, we had a life-changing experience in India where a young woman, Jyoti Singh, was gang raped on a bus in Delhi. She died of her injuries. The incident was extremely shocking. For the first time in India, we started talking about sexual violence, and to my horror, I found that most of my friends had a story to share, which until then we had never spoken about, even to each other. I was reminded of my own experiences, including the one on the train as a 13-year-old. According to UN Women, 1 in 3 women around the world face some kind of sexual assault at least once in their lifetime. That's 1 in 3 women. And more than half of these incidents occur before girls are 16 years old. Yet, 80% of us choose not to talk about it, for fear of bringing shame to ourselves and our families, for fear of the police not taking us seriously, or fear of the lengthy judicial process for justice. In fact, for many of us, we think of sexual violence as only rape. We tend to try to ignore the verbal and non-verbal forms of violence, thinking they are too trivial, when in fact they can be extremely debilitating for many, limiting our choices, our movements, and affecting our mental health. For me, what I experienced on the train as a 13-year-old impacted me tremendously. While I didn't make this connection for a long time, I realize now that it made me hate traveling by the local train in Mumbai, and I would find every excuse to avoid it, including preferring a slower option like a bus. Sexual violence is a pandemic. Yet, we treat it like it doesn't exist, like the people who experience it don't matter, like our feelings don't matter. The underreporting and undercommunication of sexual violence has made it invisible, making it difficult for women to report and law enforcement to act. Whilst on the other hand, the perpetrator becomes bolder over a period of time. The official statistics do not reflect the true nature and size of the problem. That's why I quit my job in the aviation industry and founded Safe City, an online crowdsourcing platform that documents personal experiences of sexual violence in public spaces and visualizes these incidents on a map as hotspots. The Rotary Peace Fellowship validated my work through the conflict analysis paper and gave me tools to further reinforce the framework through which we engage communities, especially men and boys. In the more than 5 years that we began, we have collated over 11,500 personal stories from all over India and through Vital Voices partners in Kenya, Nepal, and Cameroon. These stories clearly indicate many men's deep lack of respect for women of all backgrounds and their resentment of their presence in public spaces. While women should have an equal right to public spaces as men and the same ability as men to live their life, that is not the case. Social norms dictate women are second-class citizens, and the way they are treated by men in public spaces reinforces that status. This kind of male violence is not an India issue alone. However, in India, this attitude of looking away and overall devaluing women is clearly steeped in a patriarchal culture where women and girls have little or no say regarding their lives. So much of our efforts are focused on addressing those attitudes and engaging men in solutions to the problem. My challenge with Safe City is to get people to question the status quo and to come forward to break their silence. That is the first step towards addressing the issue and seeking help. What we learned from founding Safe City is data can help. We use the online data that women and girls share to identify factors that lead to behavior that causes sexual violence and help us think through strategies to find solutions. We have successfully used the information to engage over 400,000 citizens, police, municipal and transportation authorities in India and abroad. For example, our data helped us identify a hotspot in an urban slum in Delhi. It was on a main road near a tea stall. Men would loiter there while drinking their tea and intimidate women and girls with their constant staring. When asked, what would they like to change about their neighborhood, the young girls said they would like the staring to stop. So we organized an art workshop for them, and they painted the wall with staring eyes and subtle messaging that loosely translates in English to, look with your hearts and not with your eyes. Since the wall mural was painted, the staring and loitering has stopped, and the girls can walk comfortably with no stress to school, college, and work without fear of being intimidated by these men. Changing cultures of violence are partly about policies, but it's also about giving people a voice. By making it easy for people to share their stories and report, and thus transparently showcasing data, we can hold institutions accountable. We have several examples where on presenting the data, police have changed beat patrol timings and increased vigilance. Municipal authorities have fixed street lighting and made safe public toilets available. And together with a partner organization in Nepal, we pressured the transportation authorities to issue women-only bus licenses. This journey has not been easy, but belief in oneself, a deep passion for gender equality, and the willingness to collaborate has helped me take Safe City to India and beyond. I would like to thank you for giving me the opportunity to be a Rotary Peace Fellow, and would like to invite you in this journey to join me in this journey in making public spaces safer for all, especially women and girls. I encourage you all to think about the peace and development leaders in your communities and encourage them to apply for the 2020 Peace Fellowship when it launches in February 2019. Rotarians play a key role in identifying, coaching, and nominating Peace Fellows. And together, we can make this world a safer and more inclusive one for all. Thank you.